So I got this one mostly serviced. I gotta get an air filter and oil filter. I've ordered them, but it's gonna take a while to get done. So this guy, he bought this last year, and at Home Depot is my best guess, probably for $50 or $400, somewhere around there. To me, that is just crazy expensive. I mean, just crazy expensive. So he brings it over last year, and the belt has fallen off. He thinks it's a bad PTO. So I get in there, the belt fell off. Well, ended up that the deck had a huge crack all the way around the center spindle. The deck was cracked. I didn't have a welder back then. That's actually what got me to buy a welder, was this mower. So in the process of figuring this all out, first thing I discovered was the blades were just horribly off balance. I mean, terribly off balance. And so I wasn't sure if the off balance is what caused the deck to break, or if he hit something. But anyways, it was broke. So he bought that, like I said, he bought this last year, and he's already busted it up pretty seriously. So I guess he took it to got it welded, and we can see that. We can see here that he got it welded. He's welded on a new plate. I'm actually surprised that worked, putting a new plate on it, because that would have raised this spindle up, it seems to me. I don't know how they avoided that problem, but it seems to me it would have raised that spindle up. But they got it welded. It seems to be working. So he brings it over the other day and says he wants it serviced. So I've serviced it, and turns out that it's only got 126 hours on it. That's it. And I'm thinking, he's supposed to be doing commercial work. I really thought, he was really putting the screws to this, but he's not. Got that other guy who he's got 2 Husqvarnas and a Cub Cadet tractor style mower, and he's running his non-stop, and I feel bad for him because he can't afford to keep his upkeep. But this one apparently isn't being used a lot. So I was trying to understand, is it cost effective to go out and buy a $5,400 mower and run it? You figure you're only gonna get 800 hours out of it. And I just can't understand 800 hours. It seems to me, if you're gonna do, let's say 8 hours of work a day, let's say 10 hours of work a day. You do 10 hours of work a day on this thing, 5 days a week, that's 50 hours a week. For 10 weeks, it's 500 hours. Seems to me that in one season, I mean, it's gonna be close to getting too old to use. Of course, you're gonna do the maintenance on it and everything, but this guy isn't even trying to figure out what's wrong with his mower when he has a problem with it. So I jumped on it this morning. It has started every time I jumped on it. I jumped on it this morning and it wouldn't start. I wanted to change the oil and it wouldn't start. And I thought, oh no, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I just tried to start it. So, I'm trying to understand, maybe I missed a step or something. And then I come back here and the choke isn't adjusted correctly. So when he tried to choke it, yeah, it's this one. It wasn't going all the way up. So we had to adjust the choke cable here. So I adjusted it, now it's choking. But instead of fixing it, you can tell what he's done. He bought a can of starting fluid. I just can't even understand that. Why would you rig up your machine? Like I said, I don't know if I said this or not, this has only got 126 hours on it. So he's ran it for 2 seasons now, and I guess he doesn't have a lot of business. I can't figure out how he's justified buying this. Doesn't have a lot of business, and I'm sure he spent a fortune. I know he spent a fortune on belts and blades and all that stuff last year trying to get that deck fixed, and I'm sure the welding guy charged him a fortune. So I know that people are charging a lot of money now to cut grass. Woman over here, she probably got just over an acre, and I know she's paying $100. And I thought, my goodness, you know, back in 2003, I cut grass. I went to Walmart and bought a $800 Murray lawnmower, Tecumseh engine, and all season went around cutting grass. And we made enough to pay for that lawnmower, and I was charging, I think, $25 per city lot. Of course, you get a couple of ones that you make more money on. I was doing one 5-acre one for $100. So, you know, a huge difference between what I was charging back then and what they're charging today. And we got through 2003. That was a recession year. So to me, if I was to go start a lawnmower business, I would buy the cheapest thing I could find, because it doesn't matter if you buy this mower with this engine or a cheap one at the Walmart. I don't even know if Walmart still sells lawnmowers. Buy the cheapest one at Walmart. They're going to last the same amount of time. And this beast, I picked up for $100. I put probably another, I don't know, $100 into it maybe. Let's call it $200. So $300, and it runs pretty good. Of course, it needs more maintenance. So you need more. You need to know what you're doing when you do something. You know, buy something like that. I just can't see buying something this big. He's got this at 60 inches, and I think that's the biggest they come in. The other guy who's got 3 lawnmowers, his 2 zero-turns are 50 inches, so they're smaller, and it just makes sense to me. I mean, what he's doing, he bought all of his lawnmowers used, and he does his best he can to keep up on maintenance on it. And then but he's got 3 of them, so he can get through the jobs quickly, and he keeps them running all day long. So I just think that's a better way of doing it, is running those, getting cheap stuff and running them all day long. And even if one of them breaks, that's the thing, is when that one needed welded, he was in a real bind. He had nothing else. No backup mowers. When I was cutting grass, I had a little rear engine mower. It was tiny. But if something were to happen, nothing did ever happen. That's the thing, that Murray lasted it lasted longer than 10 years. I sold it, and it was still running great. So when he went down, he had nothing. I don't know, I just think it's machoism. He's always got the best tools, the best stuff, and I don't know if having the best is a good idea. I don't understand how you make money at cutting grass when you have something that expensive. So, look, this is the 4th of July, so I think I'm going to cut it a little short today, and go enjoy the rest of the day. Carolyn's making some ribs, so if you'll click this up next box, it'll take your video over on my other channel. I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you to think it through so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.